Hello guys, welcome, good morning, or yeah, whatever time it is when you are watching this. I'm in the garden today. This is like the first day, maybe not the first, but one of the first days in England where it's been warm enough to be outside and be in shorts, and that was just too exciting to pass up. So the garden isn't clean yet. I'm gonna mow the lawn at some point. Disclaimers out the way. Yeah, and we'll get into it. Today we're going to do a vinyasa. If you've got blocks, that would be lush. This little man might be here a little bit, but he seems kind of chill. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, so when we do start to move, we'll be moving from lying down. As always, start any way you'd like to. If you want to be seated, if that's your comfy place for meditation, if there's particular props you like to use, or yeah, if you want to be in any lying down shape, take some time to get yourself set up there. And then as always, I want to encourage you just to take a few moments just to see if there are any things you can do to help you settle, whether it wants to look like moving the neck, the spine, or having a stretch. Maybe allowing the body to express, make any noise. And then we'll begin as usual with a few sighs together, just to encourage some release. Take a big inhale in through the nose. Long sigh out. 2 more like that at your pace, doesn't have to be the same as me. Big breaths in. Encouraging this releasing, this letting go. As you exhale. The sighing feels nice as always. Know you can sigh as long as you like, for as many times as you like. But before we come into movement together, we're going to spend just a little bit of time essentially kind of landing, settling. If you've got your own grounding techniques, you are more than welcome to use them. I'll offer out a couple that I do a lot. We've got this first one, a favorite of mine, which is tuning into any of the contacts that you have with support. Might be the ground, might be cushions or wall if you're using one. But just kind of gently beginning to become aware of the different ways that the body is meeting support. And becoming aware of the different ways that support comes to meet the body. Gently acknowledging your kind of arrival here, your presence in your place of practice. And then if it's not there already, we'll bring the awareness to the flow of breath as it comes in and out the body. Every day is bound to be just a little bit different. Take some time just to start to notice today. You can decide if today is a day to let the breath flow. If you prefer to start to deepen your breath, find a rhythm and anchoring. Or if you want to bring in that ujjayi quality of breath, you can start to control the breath gently in the back of the throat. Focus on breath, perhaps just gently beginning to gather attention, gather awareness. Drawing yourself towards a more sort of listening and feeling place of being with the breath. Now there's a yeah, there's something that's kind of been coming up a lot for me in practice recently that I wanted to kind of offer out. I might have offered it out once before on here, but it's this kind of theme of returning. It's something we do all the time in practice, probably even just as we were beginning, the mind might have wandered off and you might have used the breath to return or used whatever it is that you like to use to return. And we do it so much, right? It's this coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. Now for me, there's a real sweetness in that returning. And especially because I like to link it to breath, there's a kind of, yeah, there's some things that I like to link into that. Because if we follow this kind of, this linking with breath of returning, what I really love is that whether you feel really connected with your breath and kind of present with it, or if the breath feels a million miles away, it's impossible to control, or you're not even sure where it is, we can kind of trust that the breath is still there. It kind of remains, whether we are super close to it, super far away from it, aware of it or not. There's this kind of rhythm, this connecting rhythm that exists kind of quite deep within us. And so for me, with breath and returning, I like to link in this kind of concept of a faith or a trust or a relationship that is being built in practice. So it's like every time I return, it's like this little thread of trust that's coming back to be built, of relationship that we're coming back to. And then what's nice about that, if we kind of use the same metaphor, is that whether we feel connected with it or whether we don't, whether it feels really far away or really close, it's still there. And for me, so much of practice is like an embracing of trust, a coming back. So if that's useful for you, as always, please feel free to draw that in. Some quite loud gardening noises going on around. But I'm going to hope that they're not there for the whole time. Excuse me, sir. Sorry, the cat was on my toe. Okay, we're going to start to get into some movement. If you have any other intentions that you would like to bring into the space, please feel free to take a moment to acknowledge them, to be with them. As always, if today is an intention day, that is totally cool. It's your practice to use as your own. Let's take one more sigh together. Let the chin draw down to the chest. And we'll start by rocking the head side to side. So if you're lying down, it will be head side to side on the ground. If you're seated, it will be ear to shoulder and then over the other way. But just gently beginning to maybe play with this relationship, movement and breath, beginning to work with one another. Maybe noticing where you can invite softness within the movement. The brow, the shoulders, the jaw. And then at your own pace, you can just start to let this expand absolutely any way you'd like, whether that wants to be the head moving, fingers, toes, spine. Movements can be as big or as small as you would like them to be. Just stay around another 2 breaths here, moving in your own way. And then we're all going to meet lying down with the soles of the feet on the ground. So we're going to have the feet just a little bit wider than the hips. For lots of people, that's around mat distance. If you're quite tall or quite broad, it might be a little bit wider. You can extend the arms up above the head. Inhale. And exhale, bring the knees over to any side. Inhale to come back through center. Exhaling, other side. And we're just going to play with that movement. So you can keep it as I guided it like that, breath for breath. If you want to go slower or faster, you are super, super welcome to. One thing I really like to kind of start to tune into here is how your contact with the ground along the spine will shift as the legs move. Maybe notice how the hips are feeling today, maybe even the knees. And then next time, both knees point over to the left. We're going to pause with them there. You can start to reach the right hand across the body, reach as far as the body will let you, almost like you're trying to turn the chest to the ground, starting to open into the middle of the spine, and then inhale to come back to center. We're going to switch sides. Left arm's going to reach across, and then back to center. We're going to go once more either side. If you feel like you want more sensation, the same hand as arm, so here it would be right leg, the same leg as arm, can pull in the opposite direction. And once more, other side. Back to center. Take the knees to the chest, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Just find that body to body contact. Then we're going to take some work into the core before we come up towards upright. Okay, so we're going to wrap the right leg over the left, like eagle bind, or how you'd sit on a chair. Pressing the legs away, we're going to think about flattening the lower spine, and you might feel the core engage a little bit. So you can keep it here. You can lift your fingers if you'd like. You can lift your head or the whole upper back. It'll be 3 breaths. Notice what happens to the quality of your breath. And again, in the strength, see where you can invite in softness, eyes, toes. Next exhale, knees will go to the left. We open into a twist. Arms can go out wide or any shape you like. Maybe give the shoulders a bit of movement. See if you can let the breath return if it was constricted. And we'll come back through center. Unravel, have a squeeze. Same thing, second side. So it'll be left leg on top. We're going to press the legs away so the lower spine begins to flatten, core engages. Maybe it's here. You can lift fingers, head, or whole upper back. For 3. For 2. For 1. Knees can go over towards the right. Any little movements to kind of soften you in. We'll come back to center, and then we're going to be meeting in tabletop, so you can get it any way you like. It might be rolling to one side, can be rock and rolling up and down the length of the spine, however you choose to get there. We're going to meet, hands about shoulder distance apart, knees around hips distance apart. Okay, as usual, we'll turn the fingertips out, and we're going to create a little bit of a sway outside to side. Start to find that contact with the ground along the hands, those different sensations, opening up the wrists. And then we'll make some circles. We're going to drop the chest down, dome through center. If that feels good, maybe bringing in this connection of movement with breath, just starting to notice the shoulders this morning, the neck, the spine, and then back in the other direction. Okay, we'll turn the fingers forwards if they were anywhere else. We're going to inhale here, grip the ground. Exhale, we tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, and come up towards our first down dog of the practice. So as always, take your time to settle in. Any movements that feel good here. Maybe give the head a little shake. If the knees want to be bent or bending one knee then the other. Then if you're with me, we're going to inhale the right leg to the sky. Take a bend in the knee, open up the hip. And just pause there. Press the ground away. Reach the left heel down. Exhale, we're going to go knee to nose, doming the spine. And watch how the weight will go towards your fingers. Inhale the leg back high. We're going to take the feet together as we exhale. And then we go through a vinyasa. So if you know where you're going, do your thing. If you're with me, we come forwards to plank on inhale. Knees can be up or down. As you exhale to lower, chest goes forwards. Inhale to open the chest, any back bend variations. Exhale takes you back, pose of your choice. Might be a super nice moment for down dog. I really like child's pose here. It releases the wrists and it's a nice one to find a bit of space into the low spine. Some people like tabletop, free movement there. Just one more breath. And then we'll do second side. So, coming back to downward facing dog if you were anywhere else. We inhale the left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip, and pause. Just breathe with the sensation. You can gently push the ground away. And then take both feet to the ground. Oh, sorry, knee to nose, doming the spine. Bring the weight to fingers. Inhale the leg high. And then take the foot down. Let's go through a vinyasa. Inhale rolls you forwards. Exhale lowers. Inhale opens the chest. And exhale takes you back. 3 breaths. For 2, any pose you like. Tabletop, down dog, child's pose. If you want to move within those poses, you are super welcome to. And then from where you've been, we're going to make our way towards the top of the mat. So looking to your fingers, tiptoes if you've been in down dog. You can walk, step or jump your way forwards. And we're going to meet in a forward fold. Little bend in the knees, chin drops down towards the chest. So it feels nice. I really like a sway here because it's a nice way to kind of notice sensation from foot to foot. And again, see if you can let the head hang out nice and heavy. Okay, next inhale, we'll come up halfway, draw the shoulders back. And then exhale, we fold from the middle of the body. Bend the knees as much as you need. Uttanasana. One more just like that. Whole length of inhale to lift. Whole length of exhale to soften. Whole way to standing. Press through the feet. Sweep up your arms. Look up towards the thumbs. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale. Samastitihi. Hands come down through prayer. We're just going to take a moment here. Eyes can be open or closed. And just start to really ground into your feet, whether they want to be hips distance, if you want to go wider or toes together, any are lush. Just notice what feels grounding for you. Press through the feet, Pada Bandha, and notice how the legs and the body will lift. Let's shrug the shoulders up. If you feel like sighing, you can sigh. If there's an intention or a returning on the breath, just take a moment to be with that. And then we'll come in towards our Surya A. Inhaling, sweep the arms up, look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we fold, take as much of a bend in the knees as you like, chin to chest. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders back. Exhale, we start vinyasa, hands to the ground. Your transition, you can walk, you can step, you can jump. Exhale will lower you down. Inhale opens the chest, grip with the fingers. Exhale takes you back. 3 breaths, pose of your choice. Maybe it's down dog, maybe it's child's pose, tabletop, or any movement you like. For 2. And for 1, we start to make our way forwards, looking to the hands, tiptoes if you're in down dog, walking, stepping, or jumping your way forwards. And when you're there, we're going to lift halfway. And exhale to fold you down. All of that again, we press through the feet, we sweep up, look up, straight back down, forward fold, opening up the back of the body. Halfway lift, we open the chest. Exhale, hands to the ground, walking, stepping, or jumping it back. Whole length of exhale. Inhale, lifts. And exhale, we go back. 3 breaths, you decide where. For 2. Notice Hasta Bandha, your contact with the hands and the ground. And 1. Again, we look to hands, tiptoes if you've been in down dog, walking, stepping, or jumping. Halfway lift when you're there. And exhale to fold. Whole way to standing, press through feet, sweep up, look to thumbs. Exhale, we fold. Chin to chest, maybe look to belly button. Inhale, halfway lift, look to the tip of the nose. Exhale, hands to the ground, walking, stepping, or jumping it back. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to go back. Pose of your choice. This is our last Surya A. For 2. And 1. We're going to start to look to the fingers. walking, stepping, or jumping. If you're jumping, take the weight a bit to the fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. And we go whole way to standing. Press through the feet, sweep up, look up. Exhale it down. Take a moment for you, any way you like. If you want to stretch, yawn, shake, sigh. And here is where we're going to kind of get a bit more into sequence, almost like a Surya Bee, but not. All right, we're going to inhale, chair pose. And then exhale to fold. Inhale is your lift. Exhale, your vinyasa option. You can take this next bit from down dog or tabletop, your choice. We inhale the right leg long. Exhale, knee to nose and dome the spine. Inhale, right leg long. Now this time, as we go knee to nose, we're going to drop the right knee kind of to the middle of the mat. Left leg goes long if it's not already. Then we're going to take the right foot to the side, open the left arm out to kind of open to the side of the mat. So from here, we've got some options you can kind of work with. If you want more length in the side of the body, you can go left arm up above the head. If you want more length into the front of the body, more of a back bend, you can kind of draw a semicircle with the left foot. 2 breaths here. So if there's any movements that feel good, if you want to move into the right shoulder, move the neck, the spine, and then we start to move. So bring the left foot back to center if it was anywhere else. We're now going to turn the weight to the left leg, turn the toe out, take your left forearm to the thigh and the right arm up and over the head. So we're stretching the other side of the body, extended side angle variation. Again, you can hold here, you can move, you can take circles with that right arm. If you want more sensation into the hip, some people will go left hand to the ground. I'm going to go one more breath here. Then we start to bring the hands back where they started, top of the mat, and we go through vinyasa. Take a sigh, anything you need. Same, second side, left leg long. Knee to nose, down the spine. Inhale high. And this time, you're dropping the knee again to the middle of the mat. And we're starting to extend the right arm up to the ceiling, right leg to the back of the mat. You can be here. You can go for length. You can go for back bend. You decide. Any movement. Another 2 breaths. All right, we start to take the weight to the right foot, turn the right toe out. Extended side angle variation, or some people call this panto pose, which I kind of love, especially if you're a Brit, that might mean something to you. Left arm up above the head. And again, if you want to move, you can move. If you want to go lower, you can go lower. For 2. For 1. We start to bring the hands back to the top of the mat, and we go back the way we came. If you want a vinyasa, you can, or straight back to pose of your choice. 3 breaths when you're there. For 2. And 1. Okay, let's make our way forwards. If you're working on jumping, today we're going to bring in a bit of a bunny hop moment. So for a bunny hop, we want to think of a bit of a back bend, like you're curving the spine. This shape, not this shape. When we bend the knees, we naturally go to this shape, so you kind of have to think of quite a purposeful lift of the tailbone. So this will make sense in a second. For bunny hop, from down dog, we're thinking about kind of kicking the heels towards the glutes. So I'm going to look just past the fingers. I'm going to bend my knees, you see the back all round. Then when I come forward, little back bend to try and take the feet forwards. So what's nice here to get a bit more height is if each time you see if you can land your feet just a bit closer towards your hands until you get to the top of the mat. However you get there, forward fold. Have a little sway. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Back to chair pose, bend your knees, sweep it up. Samastitihi. 1 breath. If you want to sigh, sigh. All right, we're going to do something similar but different. We go back to chair pose, bend your knees, sweep it up. Exhale, folds, chin to chest. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, vinyasa. Okay, so this time we're going to inhale the right leg long, and then we're going for a twist. So right knee goes towards the left elbow, and you're going to look to the left. Inhale it high. And then again, we're going to go knee towards the elbow, but this time we're going to work on extending the right leg and peeling the left arm to the ceiling, rock star pose. You can keep it here if you want to. You can work on lifting off the right leg as well. One more breath. And exhale, we take the hips to the ground. Okay, we're going to keep opening the sides of the body. So we're going to, let me get this right, take the right hand down, left arm up and over the head. Feel like again you're turning the side of the waist to the ceiling. We come back up to center. Now we're picking up the left leg to go for seated pigeon. So any little movements here. And then we're going to hold somewhere you get some opening in towards the outer left glute. So that might look like something like this. For some of us, we might be going up a little higher. Be 2 breaths when you're there. See if you can slow it down. Let the shoulders soften. Return. Okay, then we take this in towards a compass pose. If you know where you're going, go for it. If you're with me, we're going to take left hand underneath the leg, and then your right hand kind of peels across the foot. Now from here, you want to lean over to the right as much as you can to get the left glute to lift, and we're working on extending the leg. So it might look like something like this. If you want to go more, or there's more space in your body, you might extend the leg, or even look underneath the armpit. One more breath there. Very tempting to stop breathing here, and then you take it down. Okay, last little bit here. We're going into a side plank variation. So there's a couple options. Option 1, we're taking both feet to the ground. So your left hand goes behind your hip. You're tipping the weight to the toes to see if you can lift up the pelvis. Option 1. Option 2, you're seeing if you can peel this right foot in. Option 3, that's left, isn't it? Yeah, left foot in. Option 3, if that compass felt super comfy, you can take your compass into your side plank. Do one more breath in your option. And then we go down. All right, we're going to swing the feet together, back of the mat. And now here we're going from a side plank in towards chaturanga. So you're going to take your right hand back. You're going to tip the weight to the hand, inhale, lift. And see if you can bend the elbow as you go down. We lift. And we're back, down dog. Now we're going to do all of that second side. So I'm facing you, I'm just going to turn around. All right, inhale the left leg up. Exhale, knee towards opposite elbow. Inhale. And then this time we extend the leg as you find your twist. And peel up the right arm. Hold for 2. If you want to, you can float the left leg. For 1, drop the hips. All right, second side. So now it's left hand down, right arm up. Turning up the side of the waist, try to drop the right shoulder. Come back to upright. Now we pick up the right leg. All right, seated pigeon. So just finding somewhere here you can get some nice opening in towards the outer hip. You might hold here. Some of us might go a little higher. 2 breaths when you're there. Just come back to what you can feel. Okay, compass variations. So you can take the right arm underneath your leg, left hand goes across the foot. You're shifting your weight over to the left to work on kicking the leg. Might look something like this, might look something like this. For 2. And 1, start to bring it down, side plank variations. You take your right hand behind you. Then we take the weight to the feet to peel it up. You can hold here. Options, you can lift the right leg, or you can take your compass into your side plank. For 2. For 1. All right, we swing the feet to the back of the mat. Side plank. And then we're seeing if we can bend the elbows as we go. Kind of scary, but kind of fun. Chaturanga. We lift. Exhale. 3 breaths. Pose of your choice. Looking to your fingers, tiptoes if you're in down dog, walk, step or jump it forwards. Halfway when you're there. Exhale, fold. Back to chair pose, bend your knees, sweep it up. Take the weight to the heels, press through the little toes, maybe look up to the hands. And then Samastitihi. All right, if anything needs a shake, give it a shake. We're going to take blocks just so we've got them set up in case you'd like them for this next bit of sequence. So I would have them on the highest setting at the top of your mat. We're going to start shifting the weight on towards your left foot. So you want to engage the glute like you're already standing on it and come to that right big toe. So now options. We're going to inhale up the arms. Exhale opens into a twist. You can hold it here. Option 2. Foot on a block. It's quite a nice one if you want a bit more support, but you still want the height. You can go hand outside of knee to hold in balance, or you can go hand outside of foot. Any of them are lush. We're going to do 3 breaths. If you want to test your balance, you look back to the right hand for 2. For 1. Look forwards if you were looking anywhere else. Right arm and right leg are going to go back together. Twisting lunge. Inhale the left arm to the ceiling. Direction here is elbow down towards ankle, as now we fold down. Inhale, left arm up. If you want to drop the right knee, you can. For 2. And 1. All right, wild thing variations. If you know where you're going and you want to have the knee up, go for it. If you want supporting with me, we're going to take the left foot round and the hips and heart to the ceiling. Hold for 2. Squeeze the glutes. For 1, you look back to that top hand. I'm going to go back the way we came. Left foot goes the whole way forwards. And we're in lizard. All right, we're going to be holding here for a little bit of time. So start to play around. What variation of the pose is going to work for you today? You can again take your blocks, give yourself a bit more height. I need a bit more padding for my knees. I'm going to roll over the mat. You can also use your blocks. Handily, they just went down to go lower. 3 breaths here. Okay, we're going to start to release. If you have your blocks, keep them with you, because we're going to take blocks or hands just in front of the left foot. Big transition, standing splits. We're going to lift the right leg off. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. You can hold it here. You can go both feet to the ground, or you can play with taking 1 or 2 hands towards your ankle. We're all going to meet both feet on the ground if they were anywhere else. Forward fold. Bend the knees. Take a sway. We're going to super slowly roll to upright. Take the weight to the heels. You can let the arms and the head dangle super, super heavy. Anything you need when you're there. Moving, sighing, stretching. And we're going to go second side. So you're going to take your blocks up nice and high again. This time we're going to be balancing onto the right leg. Squeeze the glute. I'm going to inhale, sweep up the arms. And exhale to start to find your twist. You decide on your variation on this side. Doesn't have to be the same as your first side. For 2. For 1, looking back forwards if you're looking anywhere else. Left arm goes up, left hand, left leg go back together. Inhale, we reach the right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, elbow goes down towards the ankle. Inhale to lift. Exhale, down. 1 more, and back knee can be up or down. Wild thing variations. You can do the supporting like I demoed on first side, or our other variation is where we're hopping the right foot over the leg. Again, hips and heart to the ceiling. For 2. For 1, you go back the way you came, big, big step. Woo. And we find our way to lizard. So if you want any support for your left knee, if you want to keep it nice and upright, or if you want to go down a little lower. Take your time to start to find the sensation. And notice how you can be with intention, how you can be in care with the breath, with the sensation. Last little piece here. When you're ready, come back to your hands if you've left them. If you're using blocks, I would take them with you to go to standing splits. We inhale, lift the chest. And we exhale, fold. You might hold here. You might go both feet to the ground, or you can work with balancing points. 1 or 2 hands towards your ankle. We'll all meet in forward fold when you're ready. Nice bend in the knees, chin to chest. And let's roll to upright. Anything you like when you're there, moving, swaying, sighing. Okay, this is our last little thing that's going to take us down to the ground to close. So we're going to work a couple balancing transitions. You can either just work the transition or I'll pepper in some other options as well. So I'm going to do it kind of half facing you. So we're going to start again, weight on the left leg. I'm going to inhale the right knee into the chest to give that gluteus squeeze. As you exhale, we're going to take the right foot back behind us. Really bend the knees and see if you can take your hips whole way to the ground. It's quite a long way to go. If you want support, hopefully you've got your blocks nearby and you can kind of use these on the way up and the way down. So you can just keep going up and down like that, work the balance. If you want to bring in another option here, my suggestion would be trying a dancer's pose. You can stay there as long as you like. And now you know where you're going. When you're ready, you release. And we go the whole way down. Second option, if you feel like playing with it, would be to come towards a figure 4. Ankle to thigh, dropping the hips, lifting the heart to thumbs. And then third option is actually figure 4 again, but there's some arm balancey bits for my loves who like to arm balance. So from here, figure 4. So there's a pose called Galavasana, which is kind of like crow, but your legs are in a different position. There's also a transition if you're quite comfy in Galavasana. So I think it's quite a nice one to do with blocks, but you can do it with hands on the ground as well. From your figure 4, you're going down super low and you're hooking your foot over your bicep. Hands go to blocks. This is where it's kind of like crow. You're tipping your weight forwards to lift off the back foot. Now for this transition, you're kind of scooting the left leg to the outer thigh to slip the right foot under, and then we can take it to Kundinasana. Ta-da! And then when you get there, we're going to meet with the feet at the top of the mat. Sorry. Football just hit my fence. Shake it out. All right, we're going to do the same thing, second side. Let's take a sigh. Okay, weight goes to the right foot, squeeze on the glute. First we balance, and then we go down. All right, you can keep doing the same thing, or again, same 3 options. So it would be dancer's pose, lifting the heart and the chest a little bit forwards. Notice how the weight kind of shifts from different points of the feet, what parts you're pressing into to get you up. Nice. Figure 4 option. Or figure 4 with some of that arm balance play. Let's meet forward fold. Little bend in the knees. Any sways. We're going to use that same transition to get us to the ground, but kind of from a forward fold. So bend the knees, right foot goes behind. And we did it. Janu, you're going to extend the left leg long. Feel free to sit on a block. You're going to inhale the arms up. And exhale to fold. Hands can be anywhere along your legs, to your blocks, or to your foot. 3 breaths when you're there. Coming back to upright, we go half hero. So your right knee is going to come, so it's kind of coming towards the left. As you might know, some knees like being internally rotated and some knees really don't. My knee's kind of okay here, but if you get any sensitivity in your knee, you're going to want to lift up your hips. That might take some of the pinching out. If that's too much, I'll show you the pose on its front in just a moment. And for those of us that are upright, you can tuck your pelvis under and walk the hands back. If you're taking the pose to your front, it's almost exactly the same, but you're going to use your hand to squeeze the heel in and press the hips down. 2 breaths in your option. And then we're going to do second side. So, we're switching over the legs. This time it will be right leg long, left foot in. We inhale the arms up. And we exhale to fold. So something that we try to do a lot in practice is kind of not worry too much about the aesthetics of the pose, but yeah, kind of think of the intentions beneath them a little more. Whether that is your kind of wider, more subtle intention of the way you're treating your body, the way you're embracing your practice, or even physical intention. It doesn't need to matter how high or low you are. Here, we're gently opening the left hip. We're making space into the backs of the legs and into the back of the body. So what does it look like just to embody that intention? We come up to upright. The intention in our half heroes variations is to open the left quads. So that might happen here. The intention is not to hurt our knees. So it might be to lift the hips, or it might be to turn the pose on its front. Hands can go under the knees. We'll lift the chest. And we're going the whole way to the ground. Any movements when you're there. And then it's at this point in practice is where I like to give you time and space. So if there's anything else you'd like to do, feel free to put me on pause. If you want to back bend, twist, go upside down another time. Practice is always yours, to be in your practice and care for your body. Just take all the time you need and just come back and join me when you're ready. So we're going to be working our way towards our resting shape of choice. So again, if we kind of follow that intention, the intention of your Shavasana shape, it's hard to say, would be somewhere to give yourself support. So maybe that is lying down, or might be using props lying down, could be lying on your side. You can be in seated meditation. Again, the shape doesn't need to matter, but how can we, let the intention kind of lead where we might like to put the body today. Once you've found where you would like to be, invitation to use this final sigh variation I've been offering out recently. We take a big inhale in through the nose, pausing on full, sipping a bit more air through the mouth, tiny bit more, then you sigh it all out. And if that feels good, take as many of those as you like. Start to use those exhales to symbolize release of the more physical parts of practice. We invite the body to be supported and to soften. And we can use this time to feel in, to any of the more kind of wordless parts of practice. If you followed this kind of invitation of a returning, could be an interesting thing to sit with here. We'll be here for around another 4 minutes together today. And then I'll begin to guide us out. Hmm. When you're ready, I'm going to start to return. So it might look like deepening the breath a little bit. Or inviting in movement. You can start small, or you can go super big. Big stretches, yawn, sighs. Or little movements, toes, head, fingers. If body-to-body contact is helpful for you, sometimes hands to the body can be quite grounding, or knees to chest. And take all the time you need. But once you decide you feel ready, we will work our way to seated, where we will close today. Once seated, just inviting the top of the head to lift, the shoulders to soften, and bringing the hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra at the center of the chest. You can take a moment to be present with your efforts today, the time, the dedication, the motivation it might have taken to get you here, and all that you kind of poured into your movement practice, whether it felt super close today or whether it felt a little further away. Just come back to notice how the rhythm of your breath continues, remains. And if there was an intention, take a moment to bring it back to that breath. I'm going to take the knuckles of the thumbs to the center of the brow. Take a final breath in. Exhale to bow the head. And to close. Thank you for being here. Anything you need, let me know. You know where I am. But yeah, take care of yourself, and hopefully I will see you again soon.